All right, here we go. Another video. So, did you listen? Did you listen to songs and listen to your instruments parts? So, hopefully you're thinking, okay, I see the concept. I see what's going on. Here's a few things to think about. And again, nothing new, nothing we've not talked about before, but piano, less left hand, always less left hand, unless it's just piano, right? And that's always a challenge, is that as a piano player, you're used to accompanying yourself. I mean, that's anybody who plays piano. And so think less left hand, also less rhythm. Less rhythm is good because the band can provide that rhythm. If you'll notice, if you really listen critically, a lot of times the drums are providing the rhythm and the groove, and everybody else is playing pretty simple rhythmically. There's not a lot of motion. And again, that helps with keeping things clean and tight, because the more rhythm going on, the more apt to conflict rhythmically, right? And so space is a beautiful thing, right? It's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing to have space. So again, keyboards, less left hand, less rhythm. Electric guitar, really think about texture. Electric guitar is all about texture. How can I add a line, maybe a counter melody line? And again, if it's in the recording, great. If it's not, well, that's great too. Express what you got going on. At the end of a phrase vocally, where you maybe answer that phrase or you respond to that phrase with another little melody. So thinking, again, parts. What did I play during the verse? What did I play during the chorus? Making sure we're coming back to that. What did I play to the bridge? Is the bridge a true bridge leading us somewhere? That's what a bridge is, right? A bridge bridges two sections of a song, and the bridge should lead us somewhere. And so musically, dynamically, how can we lead? Electric guitar is fantastic for that. Again, with bass, thinking, how can I apply enough rhythm to lock in with the drums, but not too much rhythm that it becomes unclean and we have that rhythmic uncleanliness. And also long notes, sustain, especially in more subdued passages where you're just kind of filling out the low end. And again, that's where piano, if they're not doing that, it's great. You want that low end to fill out. Acoustic guitar is all about the shaker, all about the chicka, 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 right? Usually when I'm mixing, I am cutting out all kinds of low frequency and mid frequencies out of the acoustic guitar. I want the chicka, 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 right? If the guitar is going shake it, 6/8 sort of a groove, I want to hear the chicka, 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 like a shaker. That's kind of the idea of acoustic guitar. Now, obviously, with acoustic guitar by itself, then there's going to be more body and more overall sound to it. But again, rhythmically clean. That's why acoustic guitar has to be super clean rhythmically, because you are establishing that sort of shaker kind of groove. So you got to think rhythmically and also clean and tight rhythmically, okay? So those are kind of general concepts. But again, listen to what's going on. And more importantly, when you're playing with others, listen. One of the things that I really wanted to do while we were practicing this stuff, and I encourage you to do this next time you're in the worship team and you're playing, is stopping and thinking, okay, what is the electric guitar playing? If you're playing bass, stop and say, okay, what is the electric guitar playing? How am I complementing, not conflicting with the electric guitar part? And acoustic guitar, how am I rhythmically locking in with percussion, drums? How am I rhythmically locking in with the rest of the band, providing that foundation? Keyboard, am I playing too much? Am I filling out low end when I shouldn't be filling out low end? Oh yeah, the bass player's playing. What is the bass player playing? Let's listen to what he's playing and make sure that we're not adding any of the bass note movement or those things that he's covering. That's his job. He's playing those things, right? And so thinking that way, but doing that in context, of course, not during a worship service, but in practice, right? And the more you practice that kind of stuff and think about that kind of stuff, then when you're engaged and you're in the middle of it, you're not having to think about it, Vinnie Colaiuto once said, "Thought is the enemy of flow." I love that quote. Now, he was applying it to secular music, of just playing, he's a drummer, of just playing. But if you think about that, thought is the enemy of flow. What happens when we start thinking? We start thinking about what we're doing, and we're not flowing at that point. We're not engaged. Taking it to the spiritual level is we're not engaged in worshiping God. We're not thinking about how can I express all of the joy, all the passion, all the thankfulness, the gratefulness that I have. How can I express that on my instrument if I'm thinking about what I'm doing? I can't, right? I'll never forget, I had a teacher one time. I said to him, yeah, I was playing the other day, a gig, and I noticed my left hand was doing weird stuff. And he says to me, he says, what the heck are you doing looking at your left hand in the middle of playing a gig? And it was like, oh, yeah, you're right. When you're playing, you're engaged, you're involved, you're integrating with everyone else. When you're practicing, well, that's the time to look at your left hand and see what's going on. Practice those things in the woodshed, as they say, and then that stuff will come out in you playing when you're playing with people, okay? I know that was a lot. This was a little longer, but it's getting me spieling. So anyway, that's kind of the whole fitting together, playing together kind of a thing. All right, I want to talk more about the spiritual aspect of things in our next video. So look forward to it.